So it is our second class of the first chapter. So what we have done earlier, I do think so you have all gone through it. It is the first chapter of our CBSE class 12 syllabus. That is, I think so you all know it. That is the reproduction in organisms. So we will start today from the vegetative reproduction, that is the vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation, first, what does it mean? It is the process of multiplication. You see is the written process of multiplication of what? What is that? In which a portion or fragment of the plant body functions as propagule and develops into a new individual. So maybe portion of that which is developing into a new individual. Plants some plants are able to multiply by vegetative methods, which involves the production of new plants without the act of fertilization or the sexual union. This is actually the vegetative propagation. Again I am saying which involves the production of the new plants without the act of fertilization or sexual union. Asexual or vegetative propagation of the plant is that form of plant propagation in which the new individual arises from any vegetative part of the parent plant. That is maybe from the root, maybe from the stem, maybe from the leaf, etc. and possesses exactly the same characteristics of the parent plant from which it was sampled. Now, how many types of vegetative reproduction or the vegetative propagation are having? First one you see by natural methods. This is the natural methods. Natural methods includes number A by roots, number B by stems. By stems include two processes, that is the stem tuber and the runner, and by leaf. These are all the natural methods. Now the second is the artificial methods. Artificial methods includes cutting. It is the artificial method. Then it is coming the grafting. Then it is coming the budding. Then it is layering. And number E, the last is the bulbil. Okay. In bulbil we will read something different also. That is up to water hyacinth, which is known as the terror of Bengal. So first of all it is coming first. What we have started earlier, that is a natural method. The natural methods, first one is the by roots. So what is by roots? Now, so number one, natural methods. By roots. What is it? The roots of some plants develop, actually the roots of some plants develop adventitious buds on them. Okay. Example is coming Dalbergia shishu. Or let me clear it up. It is coming so hazy actually. This green pen, I am not liking it as it has started. Dalbergia shishu. Dalbergia shishu. Then guava. Then poplars, etc. Some tuberous adventitious roots, besides possessing adventitious buds, also contain sufficient quantities of food. Let me write down here actually. It is continuing from this one by roots only. Okay, 1. Natural methods. We are moving to A, by roots. So it is continuing from there. That is some tuberous adventitious roots, besides possessing adventitious buds, also contain sufficient quantities of food in it. Example is coming dahlia and sweet potato. Okay, these birds sprout under suitable conditions into slips. These sprouts may be separated and planted in sesame, that is, its young first growing shoots will arise from the roots around the cut stumps of the trees. Okay, so next is coming by stems. Again I am saying that these birds, this potato or the dahlia and sweet potato, these birds sprout under suitable conditions into slips. These sprouts may be separated and planted in sesame. Young first growing shoots will arise from the roots around the cut stumps of the trees. Number B is by stems. By stems, that is straggling and branched rhizomes reproduce by vegetative propagation. Example, let's take a ginger, turmeric, okay. So Dicea older parts isolate the newly formed branches. The latter then henceforth leads an independent life, and combs like colocasia, that is and the freesia or the crocus etc. have sufficient stored food and also bear many adventitious birds. A bird also bears a number of birds. Example, garlic, onion, lily, etc. The straggling and branched rhizomes reproduce by vegetative propagation. Example, ginger, turmeric, etc. Dicea older parts. Actually, the Dicea and older parts get isolated. The newly formed branches. The latter henceforth leads an independent life. Okay, get it remembered. And it is of two types. It is of two types. One is stem tuber And what is stem tuber? These are found in potato and artichoke. Okay, so let's write it down. Not this one, like this. These are found in potato and artichoke, tuber of potato is a swollen apical part of an underground stem branch and bears a number of nodes or eyes. Each eye bears a number of not a number of, each eye bears one or more buds. New plants are produced from the buds on the eyes. So these are found in potato and artichoke. Tuber of potato is a swollen apical part of an underground stem. Potato is a swollen apical part of an underground stem branch and bears a number of nodes or eyes. Each eye bears one or more buds. New plants are produced from the buds on the eyes. Okay, followed. Next one is the stem tuber, then it is coming runner. Runner is the aerial weak stem. Example in lawn grass. Okay, in lawn grass, that is cyanodon and wood sorrel, oxalis. When touches the ground, gives off adventitious roots at nodes when older parts die the branches separate from parent plant and form independent plant. Okay. So it is the vegetative reproduction by the leaf. So some plants produce adventitious, this is one, adventitious buds on their leaves. Example, Bryophyllum. Actually what happens, you know, in Bryophyllum, notches margin of succulent leaves. Actually, if this the, suppose if the leaf is this one, suppose if the leaf is this one, this one, actually from these notches, so in Bryophyllum, notched margins, actually the notched margins of the succulent leaves bear adventitious roots. These buds usually remain dormant when the leaf is attached with the plant. However, the leaves, when in contact with the moist soil, develop new plantlets along the margins. In some species of Bryophyllums, plantlets developed along the margins of the intact leaves. So, have you followed the students? What I am going to make you understand? In Bryophyllum, notched margins of succulent leaves bear adventitious buds. These buds usually remain dormant when the leaf is attached with the plant. However, when the leaves when in contact with the moist soil, develop new plantlets along the margins. However, in some species of Bryophyllum, the plantlets developed along the margins of the intact leaves. Now it's coming the artificial methods. The artificial methods are for what? What is this one? What is? Quick production of the new plant. We want actually the quick production of the new plant and the combination of the good qualities of two different varieties. The first one is coming as cutting. A cutting is a separated portion of what? It may be a root, maybe a stem or leaf. It is very common method employed for artificial vegetative propagation. Example, sugarcane, roses, citrus, etc. Actually, what happens? A cutting is put into the soil. Care is taken that nodes which were lowered in parent plant are put in the soil where the morphologically higher nodes are kept up. Adventitious roots are given up at the lower nodes. Nowadays, special growth hormones, you know it very well, that is indole acetic acid IAA and indole butyric acid, that is IBA, and naphthalene acetic acid, that is NAA, are applied in dilute quantities to the lower end of the stem cuttings. Such applications of hormones leads to the quick formation of the adventitious roots. Favorable time for planting of cutting is the spring. Have you followed it? Okay, if you cannot follow, if you somewhere you are facing a problem, you can easily write it down in the comment box that this part I cannot understand. Madam, please make me understand again. A cutting, in the cutting what happens? A cutting is put into the soil. Care is taken that nodes which were lowered in parent plant morphologically, obviously morphologically, are put in the soil, while the morphologically higher nodes are kept up. Adventitious roots are given off at the lower nodes, and the hormones like indole acetic acid, indole butyric acid, naphthalene acetic acid are applied in the dilute quantities in the lower end of the stem cuttings. Such application of hormones leads to the quick formation of the adventitious roots, and the favorable time of planting of cutting is the spring. Okay. Now it is coming the grafting. Grafting it is performed between the two plants of closely related varieties. The plants of which the root system is to be taken. Root part is known as the stalk, and the other which shoot system is to be taken is known as scion. Okay, is known as scion. Stalk usually bears a root system, and scion has a desired variety of flowers or the fruits, but with a weak root system. The success of the grafting mostly depends upon the union of the vascular tissues of the scion and the stalk, which results in organic connection between them. The cut surfaces should be held together tightly. How? By wrapping, by nailing, or some such method. The grafting operations should be done at proper time of the year. All shoots sprouting from the stalk should be removed, otherwise they will not permit the scion to grow. So the students, have you followed it? Stalk part where it remains, it bears a root system, and the scion has a desired variety of flowers or the fruits, but with a weak root system. The success of the grafting mostly depends upon the union of the vascular tissue of which one? Of scion and the stalk, which results in organic connection between them. The cut surfaces should be held together. How to held together? By wrapping, nailing, or some such method. The grafting operation should be done at proper time of the year. All shoots sprouting from the stalk should be removed, otherwise they will not permit the scion to grow. Okay, next very point is coming, that is the budding. So number C is coming, the budding. So in budding, a bud with a small portion of the surrounding bark is taken from where? From the stem of a desired plant. Okay, keep it in the mind. It is then inserted. Where? Into the small slit made in the bark of the stalk. Both are tied together. Both are then tied together and not allowed to dry. Buds of stalk are not permitted to sprout. Example where we can see it in the rose, in the plums. Next it is coming, it is the layering. In layering, in this method what happens? Stem branch chosen for, in this method see here, stem branch chosen for propagation remains attached to the parent till it has produced adventitious root. In ground or mound layering, what happens? Stem is capable of bending and the selected branch is bent down to the soil. Portion touching the soil is cleared of leaves. An injury is made on it by cutting a shallow ring around the ringing, or by giving an oblique upward cut on bent portions of the layer at the node. Okay, or by giving a V-shaped cut at the lower side of the bent portion of the layer, that is known as notching. You don't have to mug up all this, you just go through it. There's a layering in this method. Stem branch for propagation, that is the layer. For propagation, that is the layer, remains attached to the parent till it has produced adventitious root. So how many types are there? Ground or mount layering, air layering, and when the roots appear, the stem is cut below the level of roots and planted. This method is also popularly called gute. Okay. So number E, air layering. This one is so elaborated. The portions are such an elaborated in NCERT. No such elaborated portion is there. They have cut short it. Actually, these are the portion of this layering should be mentioned, but here they have not mentioned it. In there, when air layering, the bark of the chosen branch is cut by the girdling or the ringing near the base. This injury initiates root formation. The cut area is treated with auxins. You know what is auxin? That's a first plant most important plant hormone. Then a ball of sphagnum moss is placed around the cut portion when it is kept moist and enclosed in a polythene bag. Okay. Number E, you see the bulbil. Sometimes floral buds become fleshy. Example agave. It takes part in the propagation of the plant. Okay. Now it is coming of the water hyacinth, Eichhornia crassipes, or the terror of Bengal. So let me clarify you first. So water hyacinth. Water hyacinth is known as the Eichhornia crassipes. It is known as the terror of Bengal. It is a floating aquatic herb found in any ponds or lakes. When the water level is low, the plant body become rooted in the mud actually. Keep it in the mind. When the water level is low, the plant may become rooted in the mud. It grows by means of offsets which bear nodes. The leaves and roots are borne at the nodes in clusters. Leaves are like kidney shaped or rhomboidal in outline, aerial and with swollen petioles. The roots are adventitious, fibrous with root pockets. The stem offset is very spongy, and with the help of the inflated petioles of large leaves make the plant buoyant. It can easily then float. The roots act as balancers. The leaves possesses waterproof cuticular covering and have shining or glossy surface. They bear stomata and palisade parenchyma. It is one of the most fast growing weeds found in the standing water. It makes the water oxygen deficient. It covers the whole water body. That's why. It leads to death of fishes. As it has covered up the full lake or pond and leads up to the water oxygen scarcity there. So it leads to the death of fishes. It was introduced in India as ornamental plant due to broad attractive leaves and the showy flowers. Due to fast vegetative reproduction, it multiplies very rapidly and very difficult to eradicate it. That's why it's known as the terror of Bengal. Followed what I am saying? It is a floating aquatic herb. When the water level is very low, the plant becomes rooted in the mud. It grows by means of offsets which bear nodes. The leaves and nodes are borne at the nodes in clusters. Leaves are like kidney shaped or rhomboidal in outline, aerial with swollen petiole. The roots are adventitious, fibrous and with root pockets. As wide root pockets, it can store air in it. That's why it floats. The stem, that is offset, is very spongy, and with the help of the inflated petioles of large leaves make the plant buoyant. Buoyant means it can float. The roots act as balancers. The leaf possesses waterproof cuticular covering and have shining or the glossy surface. They bear stomata and palisade parenchyma. It is one of the most fast growing weeds, and it makes the water very oxygen deficient. That's why it leads to the death of fishes. It so is known as the terror of Bengal. So significance of vegetative propagations. Characters of the parent plant are preserved. It's a quicker method. It is easier and cheaper method. It is the only method of reproduction and perpetuation in plants which do not produce viable seed. Example, seedless grapes, banana, jasmine, rose. It is easier to get rid of pathogen. Flowers produced on Sion are much superior in quality. It is a method of multiplying plants which have poor seed viability or prolonged seed dormancy. Methods like grafting permit the physical and physiological union of two different individuals to the best economic advantage. So before I get it to the end of this, I had little bit told about you in the ground or mount layering or the air layering. Let me to say it again. So if you visit my video, if you open up my video, you can just get it know. In ground or mount layering, what happens, you know, stem is capable of bending in halves it found, and the selected branch is bent down to the soil. Portion touching the soil is cleared of leaves. An injury is made on it by cutting a shallow ring around, that is known as ringing, or by giving an oblique upward cut on bent portions of the layer at the node, that's called the tonguing, or by giving a V-shaped cut at the lower side of the bent portion of the layer, that is notching. Injured parts can be treated with auxins. You know what is auxin? Plant hormone. To stimulate the formation of adventitious root, that is jasmine, strawberry. And in air layering, bark of the chosen branch is cut by girdling or ringing near the base. This injury initiates root formation. The cut area is treated with again auxins. Then a ball of sphagnum moss is planted around the cut portion. It is kept moist and enclosed in a polythene bag. And when the roots appear, the stem is cut below the level of the roots and planted. This method is also popularly called goutte. Okay, a longitudinal cut can also be made in branch, and wet moss can be placed under the flap. This method of artificial vegetative reproduction is found in lychee, citrus, pomegranate, guava, etc. It is about the whole of layering. What I told about this ground or mount layering and the air layering, about the goutte, etc. So if you like my video, so like it, comment it, and obviously subscribe it. I will move into the next day very soon. You will get a proper notes of each and every topic. There will be the proper MCQs, proper question answers after each and every chapter. There will be the proper revision part after each and every chapter. So if you like my lectures, then do comment it and also do subscribe it. So up till this today, so we will meet very soon with another lecture of sexual, that is gametic reproduction. So stay safe and God bless you all. Thank you.